Hello folks, this is Solo speaking. You're listening to another video for Teamfight Tactics. We are still exploring the set revival here. This is officially set 4.5 come back again. In this game we're going to be looking at an Enlightened team composition that plays through Morgana and Talon, the two 4-cost units in an Enlightened team composition. Now, I have been playing not as much of this as I'd been playing last week, and if you saw any of the videos I recorded earlier for this set revival, the reason is pretty clear. It's just very poorly balanced, and there's a couple team compositions that are just really out of control. The main one being teams that play through Spirit, and there's kind of like two variants of this: Spirit plus Assassins and Spirit plus Sharpshooters, and I've played both versions of this. But like someone playing this comp, it is present in every single game, and usually 2 to 3 people playing it is present in every game. But like I actually get, you can see here, a assassin Diana chosen immediately, and I was like, that would be really strong. But I actually had just done a Diana game right before this one. I had literally gotten the exact same thing, assassin Diana, and I played it. I got a second place finish. Couldn't quite overcome someone who was level 10. And had gone into Kale and a bunch of other legendaries, but like I don't know, it's getting a little bit boring because there's not a lot of playable options, and it's really unfortunate because I really like set 4, and the more I've played the set revival, the more I kind of prefer just playing this set over playing the actual live client set, and it's not balanced at all. It's just the chosen mechanic I've always loved playing so much. I really enjoy this. I think it's the best mechanic they've ever come up with, so I really enjoy the sets where I get to play this. But long story short, the set's frustrating because it's just not balanced, and there's only maybe like 2 or 3 team compositions that are really playable overall. This is also compounded by the fact that everyone has their own individual champion bag sizes in this game, and what we mean is that unlike normal teamfight tactics where everybody's pulling champions from the same pool, you're actually not doing that here in this set. Anyway, I'll get back to this point in a minute, but I'm looking here. I was going to take the Wandering Trainer with the 3 emblems, but then I see Enlightened Crown, and I was like, Enlightened, I haven't done an Enlightened game. Why don't I just try playing Enlightened here? It's, as I said, it's a reasonably strong trait. It's not top tier, but it's not bad. And so I'm going to go ahead and look to do this. And then I see that there's also this Twisted Fate chosen. I'm going to put the Enlightened emblem on him. The augment gave me a Spear of Shojin, which synergizes really nicely with playing into the Enlightened trait. And then I had the items for a Jeweled Gauntlet as well. So I actually already have 2 out of 3 items that are considered to be Morgana's best items. That is, Morgana wants a Spear of Shojin for mana generation. She then wants a Jeweled Gauntlet so her damage can crit. And then the third item you want is a Morello's, but we'll get back to that later on because Morgana's a 4-cost and we're not going to see her for a little while now. And so for the time being, this random Twisted Fate chosen is going to be my fill-in here. And by the way, he almost wins this fight, but then this Fiora chosen actually gets down there and gets off her stab. So I don't quite win that fight. I think I would have won it if I'd had Mage straight in. So I'm going to have to find a Mage. And then I'm getting all these Bruisers, which are not units that you would typically play in this comp. But I was like, you know what? All right, I'll just hold these units. It does cost 1 gold of econ to do this, but I actually have a Vi pair, a Maokai pair, and a Nunu pair. So if I can hit any of these units, my board's going to get a lot stronger. So I just accept I'm going to give up 1 gold's worth of income in order to hold all these pairs for this round. All right, so anyway, getting back to my point. Like I said, big problem, the set's just not very playable. There's so many things that are not playable, and it's really unfortunate because I would actually enjoy playing a team composition like Brawlers plus Elderwood. It's actually a lot of fun playing that, but it's just so underpowered that it's just not really viable. And that's compounded by the fact, as I said before, that unlike normal teamfight tactics, you are not pulling all the champions from the same bag of champs, for lack of better words. Everyone has their own individual bag of champions. So, like, if I take, I don't know, 7 Sivers out of the pool, and by the way, here I'm rewarded for my patience, because I hit 2-star Nunu and 2-star Vi, and I think that's going to be enough to let me win streak. Anyway, unlike normal TFT, as I said, if I were to, in a normal game of TFT, if you have a 4 cost, like in this set, Aurelian Soul is a 4 cost. Like if I take 3 Aurelian Souls out of the pool, that means there's only 7 of them left for everybody else, because normally there's 10 of the 4 costs. But that is not the case here in the set revival. Everyone is not pulling from the same bag of champions. Everyone has their own individual bag of champs. So if someone else, like if there's a unit that's really overpowered, like for example, Teemo's really overpowered in this, Sivir is really overpowered, the gameplay is not self-correcting, because as people take those champions out of the pool, it doesn't affect anyone else's champion pool. Like, it doesn't matter. So like 6 people can all play the same comp, and they can all find as many copies of the champions as they want, and that really kind of ruins the balance. I realize this is supposed to be a for fun mode, but like that's one of the natural internal balancing aspects of TFT, is if something's really overpowered and 4 people try to play it, there's not enough copies of it for everybody to play. So that is just not the case here, and it just means that you're seeing the same team comps over and over and over and over again. I'm last pick here, so I'm just going to take whatever I can get. I actually would have taken the Annie, just because I need a mage here to get my my Twisted Fate chosen. I want to get mage trade in, so I'll start double casting. So I would have taken the Annie for that, but that wasn't around. So, but I am going to take this belt, and oh look, Annie ends up being back in my shop anyway. So I was like, okay, cool. We'll play the Annie. Boom. Now we have mage trade in. We can sell this extra Vi and get back to 10 gold, and we'll slap the belt on Nunu because we have a golden item remover, and we can move items around as much as we want. I would have put the sword on somebody, but the sword really does not do a whole lot for any of these champions. Anyway, long story short, it's just the gameplay's getting kind of stale, honestly, and I haven't done that many games. I think I've done about 10 at the time I'm recording this video. I've actually gotten quite a few first places. I've been doing quite well. I think it's because I played the original set, and I have a pretty good sense for like what you should be playing, and like how you can build some of these team compositions. But as I said, it's a real problem. Like I had a game last night where I think I went through, and I think that there were 6 different people that were all playing Shen. Yeah, and I think 4 of them had 2-star Shens, which means that there were like 15 or 16 or 17 copies of Shen like in play, which is just absurd because there should only be 10 copies of Shen available. But like that's the problem. Shen's way too good in this set. I mean, he has Mystic trait, and he's an awesome frontline tank. He has Mystic and Adept, and he has Ninja trait. And he's also a great frontline trait. It's like Mystic, playable on almost any board. Adept, good on almost any board. And as long as you don't play any of the other ninjas, he doesn't compete with them, and he gets the extra ninja bonus for 1 unit being on there. So like, why wouldn't you want to play this unit? Everybody just plays this unit. But like it just gets kind of boring because it's just the same units over and over and over and over again in game after game. So I haven't even really been talking that much about what I've been doing in this game, because I've just kind of been like complaining about some of the problems with the set as designed by the designers. But like, it's just kind of a shame because this is such a cool set, and it's just been kind of a wasted opportunity because this set is nowhere near as good as it can be because they did such a crummy job with the balance, and then they had this thing where everybody is no longer pulling from the same champion bag as it is in every other version of Teamfight Tactics that we've ever had in past sets. So it's still fun. I love this set. I really do like set 4, but like these things just hold it back, and that's truly unfortunate. But anyway, enough complaining about that. Let's start to get into the gameplay of this game, which I've barely talked about. So as I said, I was able to put that Enlightened emblem on the Twisted Fate. I've been playing through the Twisted Fate, and then this double 2-star Bruiser frontline that I kind of randomed my way into. Now, it has cost me a fair amount of econ. If you notice, I'm only at 20 gold here. So like, it was expensive to put this board together, but as long as it allows me to win streak, I actually think it's pretty valuable, and I do manage to get up to 30 gold. So level 5 30 gold is okay. Like, it's not amazing from econ, but it's playable from here. And then I also get a Vhagar, who I would prefer to play over the Annie, so I'll look to go ahead and play that unit. And I'm holding Aurelia on the bench because Aurelia is another Enlightened unit. So specifically, what does the Enlightened trait actually do is a really good question here if you're curious. Like, what does the Enlightened trait actually do? Oh, we also have a artifact emblem. Our encounter for this game is the Tom Kench one, which is basically one of the loot portals. At the beginning of every stage, everybody just gets some big loot drop, and this one happens to be a support item. Out of these options, I actually think Banshee's Veil is the best one here because it provides crowd control, which is incredibly valuable here. You guys might have heard, if you watched some of the previous videos, you might have heard me just ranting and ranting and ranting about the importance of Quicksilver Sash in like every single one of these games. By the way, I'm also going to make a Bloodthirster because I want it on Talon later on. So I'll play it as a frontline item for right now. Bloodthirster's a pretty good... It's an okay frontline item. Obviously, it's better on melee AD carries. By the way, TF, one more cast. Woo! Good thing that person was only level 4. Anyway, so as I was saying, the Banshee's Veil is going to provide crowd control protection for the unit holding it and the 2 units standing next to them. And that's going to be really good on Talon, and it's going to be really good on Morgana. Okay, also, we now have another Prismatic, and as soon as the first 2 are Prismatic, I'm like, that means the last one's probably going to be Prismatic as well. Out of these options, there's really only one that's playable here, Calculated Enhancement. Every combat, 4 random champions in your last 2 rows gain 40%. It's like 40% attack damage and 50% ability power. So I'm going to look to play through that. None of the other options really fit for me here. I mean, I guess I could have done Pandora's items, but I'm actually pretty happy with my items. So that doesn't seem particularly worthwhile. And, you know, this is a decent amount of AD and AP. It's definitely going to pump up my units. And I'm really only going to be playing through 2 units. So if I can pump them up and also get some additional stats on my utility units, that's not going to be bad either. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and level to 6 here. This is the standard timing. I'm going to play the Aurelia. I need to find another Enlightened unit to get Enlightened 4 in. And I teased it a couple times. I haven't actually covered what the Enlightened trait does. It's a mana generating trait. A very, very straightforward trait. It just means whenever Enlightened units generate mana, they generate additional mana above what they would normally get. It's basically identical to Visionary in the current set, in set 13. The text is like written slightly differently, but it's basically the exact same thing. Enlightened, it is, what's the official? Enlightened champions generate more mana. Well, that's pretty straightforward. Enlightened 2 is a 50% increase. Enlightened 4 is a 100% increase. So at Enlightened 4, you get double mana generation. And Enlightened 6, you get a 150% increase. So that's kind of nice. And of course, I have an emblem, so that allows me to play Enlightened 6. There's only 5 Enlightened units in the game, so you need either an Enlightened Chosen, or an emblem to play Enlightened 6. In order to play Enlightened 8, you need to get double emblems and a Chosen, but Enlightened 8 is 250% mana increase. It's just an insane amount of mana generation. I'd love to do that, but that seems pretty unlikely that it's going to happen in this game. I would need to get an Enlightened Chosen, and then I'd also have to get another emblem on top of that, so yeah, that's probably not gonna happen in this game. Still, I did get a nice bit of luck there. I actually hit the early Shen, which is great. That's because Shen pairs, number 1, is going to give me Mystic Trait with Janna, so that's great. We're going to get the team-wide magic resistance. And as soon as I put Aurelia on the board, I'm also going to get a rank of Adept as well. Adept is that a whole enemy team gets an attack speed slow for, I believe, the first 2 seconds of the fight. It's very, very valuable. It's another one of those traits that's just a little bit too good. As I said, units like Shen and Aurelia, Yone, they're just like, they're playable on basically any board. They're all just a little bit too good here. Okay, I am last pick. I've actually won every single round since the first round of the game, so I want a nice long winning streak here. I wouldn't mind taking the Shen, just for a Shen pair. That gets snapped up, though. I don't really want a bow, so that's not quite what I'm looking for here either. And I'm looking at the different options here. I would have taken a rod so I could make a Morello's. I don't get that, but I do get this glove. And I'm going to go ahead and make Infinity Edge with this glove because it's a really, really good talent item. I'm going to go ahead. Do I level here? I'm on full win streak, so I believe I do level here to level 7 to try to preserve the win streak, if I remember that correctly. Oh, you might also see me selling the Vhagar, and the reason why I sell the Vhagar is I realized, you know what? Vhagar's not really doing any damage. Like, he doesn't really do any damage in these fights, so I think I'm actually better off playing Lulu, who's a utility unit, because, like, she will help keep units alive. I'm really just playing through the TF. Vhagar is a carry unit, but, like, a carry unit with no items, Vhagar only does damage. But with no items, and, like, Mage 3, no items, no Elderwood, he's pretty much useless. So I think having Lulu, who will get 1 ult off and actually provide health and a knock-up in the fight, is actually better for my team, even though she's a 2 cost and Vhagar is a 3 cost. And we actually just annihilate that board. It's not even remotely close. So I put Aurelia on the board, and I've stuffed the Infinity Edge on her for now. It's really not a particularly good item on her, but I'll put it on her for right now. There's also an early Kale. Like, I wouldn't mind playing Kale, but there's really no slot where I could put her in, and I don't really have Kale items either anyway. So, that's okay. I wish I'd hit Morgana or Talon with that 4-cost roll. I actually get double 4-cost units here, but I've not been able to hit the Talon or the Morgana just yet, so I'm still looking for them. And I also still need to find a Fiora as well. Now, I might have rolled past a Fiora at some point in time. Fiora's a 1-cost duelist, Enlightened plus duelist. She's a really, really bad unit. So I'm actually kind of hoping that I can get an Enlightened chosen, because then I will be able to cut Fiora from my board later on, and I won't have to waste a slot with her. Like, she's not even good in a duelist team competition, and she's just a total trait bot in a team like this. By the way, can we kill the Teemo? Oh my god, can we get one more cast on the Teemo? And oh, look at those health bars on my team. Everybody's on 5% HP. That was a very important round to win, because it keeps my 9-match winning streak intact. I'm really glad I leveled to level 7. I'm pretty sure I lose that if I don't have the Aurelia on the board. And I'll just go ahead and grab this Janna. I might as well hold Janna's. I don't think I'm going to hit Janna 3-star, but you never know. Maybe I'll just see a rash of Janna's. She's never, ever coming off this board, so I might as well keep her around for that reason. Anyway, we've kind of played our way through the early game. I've kind of just been playing, to use the phrase that Grillo and I have used a lot in the past, just been playing random nonsense. It is one of the tricky things about an Enlightened board, because most of the units you want to play are fairly expensive. You really want to play through the Morgana and the Talon, and they're both 4-cost units, so none of the early Enlightened units are really units you can play through. So like I mentioned, Fiora already is really bad. By the way, that's the gift coming over from our encounter at the start of the game. And by the way, I do get my Morellos, so I have Morello's Nunu here. By the way, that's a pretty bad item, pretty bad item holder, Morello's Nunu. But that item's going to go on Morgana, and we'll put it on Morg when we ultimately get her. I'll also make a Titans that can go on. Could potentially go on, what's her name? Could go on Talon, could also go on a frontliner later on, but Titans is a good item to have. And yeah, so like I said, the early Enlightened units, Fiora's really bad. You can't really play through her. Janna is a support unit. Like, I mean, you can put items on her, but it's not really that much of a point in doing that. And then Aurelia is kind of like this weird unit where, like, she's like sort of a frontliner, but like she doesn't really tank that well or carry that well. Kind of in an awkward spot. Also, I'm pretty sure I could have beaten this duelist board, but TF's cards just kept missing the Yasuo, which is a little unfortunate. So win streak does finally come to an end, even though it was only a 2-star Yasuo and not a 3-star. Of course, I could go for the golden egg here, but that feels like a little bit too much of a grief. I also could go for invested, which gives me a lot of gold, which is a possibility as well. But I'm always a little hesitant to take these prismatics that just give you gold and do not give you any combat power, so I was a little hesitant for that. Then I was trying to decide between Wand Overflow and a movable object. Wand Overflow would be nice on some units, but I was like, I don't know that there's really any units that I still need to put rods on. I actually have Morg fully itemized already, so I just take the Randuins. Now I'm going to go to level 8, and I'm going to try to roll for my chosen. Mystic Shen would be amazing, but I really want either a Morgana or a Talon chosen. I can really play either one. It's just going to be what I can find. Okay, and we'll put the Yuumi on the board. There's another Shen. Finally, Morgana pops up, so now we need to play her over something. Let's try to get her on the board now. So let's start reassigning some of these items. Morello's and Spear of Shojin and Jeweled Gauntlet. We'll put that on her. We need the Enlightened Emblem on someone, so I'm going to stuff it on Yuumi, and then I need to put this Bloodthirster on someone. I still need to find Talon. Did I get Talon on the board? I think, yes, I have a Talon on the board, but I have to actually put my items on him. So even though I'm like very much in the middle of transitioning my board, it's a little unfortunate I haven't found a chosen unit yet. I would get a huge spike in power. So like obviously I got something that's playable. I could have taken the Shen and that would have been really nice, but like I really, really am trying to play Morgana or Talon. So I'm going to be a little bit more picky and look for one of their chosens. And like there's an Aurelia one who actually has an Enlightened. It actually had Enlightened as the doubled trait. But I don't want to play through Aurelia. She's just like this really awkward unit. Okay, and now I need to put something up on the front line. So I'm just going to randomly put some Vanguard units up there for right now while I'm trying to figure out what the heck I'm going to play. So we'll just put these random Vanguard units up here for the time being. And it's like, all right, once again, cannot hit my chosen. I've had some really bad luck in some games hitting some of these. And now I really need to get some of these items popped off. We're going to put the Assassin items on Talon. I only have the Talon 1-star. Here we go. And I'm going to put the, the Infinity Heads, the Bloodthirster, and the Titans. They're very good Talon items. About the only thing I'm missing is an Edge of Night. Would be pretty nice here. And Morg's getting off a really nice pool. By the way, I did hit 2-star Morgana there. So can Morg kill everything? Oh, she comes super duper close. Just barely short against that board. Almost. The 2-star Morg doing an awful lot. I think if I'd had my Randuin's Omen placed and my Banshee's Veil placed in this fight, I think I would have won that, but I was still transitioning my board. Took me a couple rounds to do it because I really had to change an awful lot of units around, and my roll down didn't really go amazingly well, if I'm being perfectly honest. The fact that I wasn't able to hit Morgana or Talon chosen is actually pretty unlucky given the amount of gold that I rolled. In any case, here I'm going to go ahead and take the cloak. I can make some useful stuff with cloaks. I can do a frontline item. I think I could do a gargoyles. If I can get what's the name, a vest. I could always do Quicksilver Sash. I could take the tier that's on Janna and turn that into an adaptive helm. It also gives me another Morgana, and like that's pretty noteworthy. All right, by the way, there's an Assassin Talon, so I was like, ooh, Assassin Talon, do I want to play this? I was like, I don't think so, because I'm actually on 4 Morganas and I don't have a chosen yet. So I was like, I think the play here is we go ahead and we roll for a Morgana chosen, because that would get me to 7 copies. Yeah, that would get me up to 7 copies of Morgana. And then I would only need to find 2 more for Morgana 3-star. So that is now the plan. Because I hit 4 Morganas without hitting a Morgana chosen, we're just going to keep rolling for Morg chosen. And that should hopefully be enough to let me play Morg 3-star, which would be absolutely amazing. Now, I was able to find a Yone and a Lee there, which is really cool. Those are great units to have. So I'm definitely going to be looking to play them. And I was able to get a depth 3 in. There's another Talon. I will roll to try to hit Talon 2-star. And of course, I'm rolling for these chosens. But I decided I would stop here. I have Morgana 2. I have Talon 2. I'm going to stop here, and I'm going to try to get up to 50 gold, and then I'll look to slow roll from there for my Morgana chosen. And it's going to have to be a Morgana chosen. So let's get back up to 50 gold. We'll slow roll on 50 gold, and then try to find 2 more Morganas and a Morgana chosen. Remember, it doesn't matter if anyone else has any Morganas out of the pool. I have my own personal champion pool, unlike normal team fight tactics. By the way, look at Talon going in the back line. He just deletes that Callista back there. I have my own personal champion pool here, so it doesn't matter. I don't have to scout. I don't have to see, like, oh, is anyone taking Morganas out of the pool? Well, I don't think anyone is actually taking Morganas out of the pool for what it's worth. But even if they are, it's irrelevant because there are 10 copies of Morgana, and I just have to find 9 of them, and I'll have my 3-star Morg. So that's the plan now. Not going to rush to level 9. We're going to get here, and we're going to slow roll on level 8. And try to find this. So I will continue to see a new chosen every single shop. And now I finally find a Fiora as well. So finally, I mean, I probably rolled past one earlier, let's be honest. But yeah, I can now get her in. And now I finally have the 6 Enlightened in for 150 mana generation. That's pretty noteworthy because it is a pretty big jump in terms of how much mana they generate. A unit like Morgana, now that is mana from all sources. That applies to mana generated from auto attacks and also from mana generated when units get hit, for what that's worth. So when your units get hit, they also generate mana. By the way, finally got Aurelia 2-star. Where are all my Aurelias? And oh, hello, we got a spatula. Okay, we got a spatula as the gift here. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to move this Enlightened emblem over to someone else. And I think, I put it on the Yone. In retrospect, I'm watching this game. I think what I should have done is I think I should have put it on the Shen, because that would have allowed Shen to get more taunts off. I think I really should have put this on Shen because I was a little low on items for Shen. And Yone is only a 1-star unit. So yeah, I think in retrospect, I should have put that on the Shen. Part of the reason why I watch these games is to go back and look at them again. Yeah, Shen would have been getting off an awful lot of taunts. I mean, I think he is monolocked while he's in the middle of his taunt, but still, that would have been pretty nice. So anyway, that does apply, as I said, both to mana generated by hitting enemies, but it also applies to mana generated by getting hit by the enemy team as well. So if you get hit by auto attacks, it does also increase it from there. And then, oh, there's our Morgana chosen. Now, one thing that's slightly unfortunate, it's a Siphoner Morgana. Now that means I can ditch the Vladimir. I had put him on the board for Siphoner trait, which is a trait that gives innate Omnivamp to the units that have it. But that is slightly unfortunate because if it had been an Enlightened Morgana, I could have played 8 Enlightened here. Yeah, I could have played 8 Enlightened on the board by stuffing that Fiora back on there. So that's slightly unfortunate, but it is what it is. I would have been awesome to play 8 Enlightened, which requires having a chosen and 2 emblems, which is pretty wild. but at least I was able to get Siphoner trait in because Morgana has it innately. And I am now up to 7 Morganas with that chosen. So I just need to find 2 more. We're gonna get up to we're gonna get up to 50 gold and slow roll for that missing Morgana, and I think that's my path to winning the lobby. I still have plenty of health, and look, there's Morgana. Okay, let's do this. So now we have 8. We just need 1 more, and I'm gonna sell the Jannas. I probably should hold the. Did I hold this Talon? I can't remember if I held this Talon. I really should just hold Talon as well. There's not really any reason not to. And yeah, we're gonna be patient and look to try to hit. I guess I didn't grab this Talon. I really should have. There was no reason not to. If I'm going to slow roll for Morgana 3-star, I might as well go for the Talon 3-star as well. So for lack of anything better, I've just stuffed Teemo on the board. And if you're wondering why I'm putting him up there in the second row, remember that earlier in the game, way back and stage 3, I took this prismatic augment that gives like 40 AD and AP to 4 units standing in the back row. If Teemo's back there, he might accidentally hog that, and I don't want that. So Teemo has to go up on the second row, so he does not get that benefit. Otherwise, he could take it away from someone like Talon or Morgana, which I definitely do not want to have happen. Long term, I'm hoping that Yuumi just becomes Zillion, which would be super nice, but for the time being, 3 Mystic and 2 Spirit is not bad. And there is, in fact, a Zillion, so I would be happy to grab that Zillion there and just look to go from there. By the way, I end up grabbing the Thief's Glove here. I wonder if it would have been better just to take the Sunfire Cape. Thief's Glove is not bad. I'm going to put it on. I think I'm going to put it on the Aurelia. And that does mean she'll roll 2 items. But I don't have a heal cut on my board. And it wouldn't be bad just to have more total health on Shen. So it might have been better just to take that. I don't know. That said, Sunfire Cape's not a good late game item. It's a better early game item. But I really don't have... Oh, no, wait. Never mind. Never mind what I just said. I'm full of it. I forgot I have the Morellos on Morgana. Never mind. I have plenty of heal cut. I don't need a Sunfire Cape. I have a much better heal cut here anyway. Okay, so never mind. That was the correct decision to take the Thief's Glove then. I retract what I said earlier. Anyway, so we're just continuing to take our time. I've almost managed to build my economy back up again. As I said, I'm not in any immediate danger of dying. This board's probably stronger than me right now. This duelist board that has the 3-star Yasuo over there. It really just depends on if we can get on the Yasuo or not. It's kind of interesting how Morgana and Talon work together because Talon is single target damage, whereas Morgana is the big puddle. They both are kind of using abilities from League of Legends. Talon will, when he uses his ability, he'll stab somebody and then he jumps away, like how he jumps over walls on Summoner's Rift, and it functions as an aggression drop. Really important to have the Infinity Edge on him so that his damage can crit, because I do not have Assassin trait in. And Morgana's ability is just her W from League of Legends, her Tormented Soil, which is like one of her most famous abilities. I will actually buy the extra Yuumi. Believe it or not, I still have Yuumi 1-star. And now I'm looking at the different boards and I was like, oh, okay, 6 Fortune. This person's got a 6 Fortune board. They actually have a Sejuani 3-star. So I was like, okay. Got to change it up against a Sejuani 3. Sejuani's now this is one of the less dangerous 4-cost 3-stars, let's be honest. But her ability is still pretty scary. Sejuani tosses a firecracker that has a big AoE stun, so I cannot be clumped up for this fight. I've got to separate my units out, because if they get hit by her big stun, I think they get stunned for, I think Sedge 3-star stuns for like 6 seconds or 8 seconds or something like that. Now look how bunched this team is. Morgana's Puddle is doing a tremendous amount of work because that board is so grouped up. The problem is killing the Sedge 3-star is going to be a little bit difficult just because she has so much health. And this person is actually playing the Sedge 3-star as a carry. They have a Hand of Justice and a Bloodthirster over there. That said, we're making a decent dent in here. Talon's getting on there. If it weren't for the blood... Oh, never mind. Here comes the stun. Boom. Okay. And the Sejuani did 10,000 damage, but like we almost killed that unit. So if I can hit one more Morgana for Morg 3-star, I'm confident I can beat that. I'm pretty clear I can beat that unit if I can hit one more Morgana. All right, well, I'm back up to 50 gold again. Still very much in good shape here on health. And so now we're gonna slow roll here. Now, if it looks like I'm going to die, then I'll roll all the way down to 0. But I'd rather stay over 50 gold, and I think I can afford to be that patient. I'm really looking for more tank items here, by the way. I really want another item on Shen, because my front line is kind of my weakness. It's not especially great right now, and I could use some more time. By the way, out comes like Talon, and now it's like, ah, shoot, I really should have grabbed Talons earlier in the game, shouldn't I? And then we're going to end up getting, what, we get an artifact item to pull. So I was like, okay, out of these items, I'll take the Redemption, put that over here. And then I also have the Vest if I want to put that on somebody. But we're slow rolling here. We really want to find the Morgan. Boom, there she is. All right, So we got Morg 3-star. Let's go. Let me go ahead and read Morgana's official ability description, just because she is our featured unit here. They've called the ability Hallowed Ground in this set. It's really her Tormented Soil. Hallow the ground beneath a random target. Deal magic damage to enemies within a 2.5 hex area over 4 seconds. Also reduces their attack damage. Interesting. I did not know that it was an AD debuff. Maybe when I played this set I knew that, but it has been a while. So, yeah, you might have noticed she puts the puddle down, and oh my god, that damage is absolutely insane, as you would expect for a 3-star 4-cost. The default damage is 400 normally when you 2-star her, and it goes up to 1600, so the damage quadruples when she 3-stars. Yeah, so that's pretty rough on everybody else. And what's even more scary about that is she generates mana so freaking fast. Also, I realize that spirit trait's kind of useless, so I'm going to go ahead and put in assassin trait, which I think is more useful for Talon here. Just go ahead and put that in. And now there's exactly 4 of us in the lobby, so we know exactly who we're going to be up against each round. It looks like I have the duelist comp, and they just did Janna 3-star. It's like, okay, I'm not sure it's that scary. I'm actually really looking forward to when I play the Sedge 3 board, because that board is so clumped. Morgana is going to do insane damage to that board. All right, well, first things first, Morgana is going to walk forward and dump her puddle right in the middle of the board, and oh my god, she actually gets double puddles down and triple puddles down, Jesus. See, what happened there is she was getting hit by the duelist, and as they hit her, she generated mana, and then she was healing off the damage she took with Siphoner trait, so she was perfectly fine. She actually got 3 Tormented Soils down simultaneously, and okay, that I wasn't expecting that. As it turns out, the Fortune 6 board with the Sejuani 3 actually got knocked out. I'm not exactly sure what happened to them that round, but they did get knocked out. And yeah, now I don't get to try my now I don't get to pit Morg 3 against Sedge 3. Actually, would have been a lot of fun to try that. But oh well, it's life. So anyway, we're just gonna keep repositioning. We want Talon jumping on key targets. We're gonna try to get some of these units over here on board. We'll make sure we have Shen, and I was trying to get Pyke into a good spot, but I was like, wait, I don't actually care about Pyke. I don't want him stealing that extra AD and AP bonus. So by the way, I was trying to jump on the Kale, but they moved Kale back to the other side, but we'll just take out Zilean instantly. That's pretty good too. I don't mind taking that out. And oh my god, what happened to this enemy board? We just took the biggest swing at that board. And yeah, that was not close. So okay. And the other teams are on 2 HP and 1 HP now. So this lobby, I really just want to hit these teams and knock them out of the lobby to get them over with. Out of these items here, I wouldn't mind the Zilean, but once again, Zilean gets snapped up in an instant. So I was like, okay, well, out of these items, we'll go ahead and take the Swain, or not, yeah, the Swain, because he gives me a rank of Siphoner. He's a 5-cost Siphoner. He's Siphoner plus Dragon Soul trait. And I could actually, if now I can find another Siphoner, I can actually play 4 Siphoner here. All right, so we'll go to level 9. We'll put the Swain in. He can serve as another frontline tank. Remember, my frontline's kind of my weakness right now. So let's see if we can find another Siphoner here, or just general good units to play. Also, I'm up to 6 Talons. I wish I had held that earlier, Talon. I could be on 7 of them instead of selling it. The Fioras, I only need 1 Fiora. She's useless unless I get another emblem, which seems unlikely. Can I find like a Zilean here? I'm finding some Lee Sins, which is not terrible. I think I decided I'll just play the Lee Sin over the Talon. I realize I lose assassin trait for this, but come on, Lee Sin's got to be better. All right, we're up against the duelist board, and I'm going to go ahead and make a Bramble Vest. I need to move that over to Shen, by the way, but that's going to get me another frontline item, which is not bad. Bramble Vest is pretty good against duelist comps, and okay, yeah, Morg, you just did 13,000 damage. The sad thing is it was a ghost round, so I can't knock a player out. That means one of the players was guaranteed to be knocked out, but I couldn't actually eliminate someone. And then I'm just rolling through here. All right, there's another Swain. That's not bad. And I decided to roll one more time, and I was like, oh, Vladimir. Okay, let's play the Vlad. Now, it is a little disappointing going down from the Lee Sin to the Vlad, but there is a reason to play this, and it gets me to 4 Siphoner. Yeah, Siphoner is a trait that gives, as I mentioned, it gives innate Omnivamp. So Morgana's now going to have even more Spellvamp, or Omnivamp, or whatever it's called with this. And we're going to move all the units we care about over here. So, like, Morgana is now going to heal for an insane amount. So the only unit I really have to worry about is that enemy Lee Sin, because he could, in theory, kick Morgana off the board, which is like the only way I could lose this fight. But I mean, the odds of that happening are pretty low. So like Morg is healing for absolutely insane amounts as she drops her puddle down. And actually, most of my team died. That board was not irrelevant by any means. I was actually trying to see how much Morg healed throughout the fight. But yeah, I mean, they just couldn't kill the Morg. 3-star Morg, 6 Enlightened, 4 Siphoner. Yeah, pretty freaking strong back there. So Vlad, thanks for joining us at the last second, and we were able to win this one. So I really did have fun this game. I was glad I was able to play something a little bit different. I always liked Morg as a champ in League of Legends, and I'm glad I was able to play her here and 3-star her here in this game. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed this video. Until next time, have a great week, folks. Take care, and I'll see you again soon.